Hey, what's good? It's Peek over here in Singapore. It is Wednesday night, and for the first time since July and the beginning of this podcast, I actually don't have a Periscope to prepare for tomorrow. I took a bye week this week because it's Thanksgiving, because there's so many things going on, and I'm actually getting ready to switch days that I usually do my Periscopes now. So going forward, starting with this coming weekend, I will be doing my Periscopes on Sunday night. And there will be another night that I'll be doing some other stuff. So things are changing little by little. I feel like they're getting better with time. I feel like my commitments are increasing with time, and I feel pretty good about that, actually. I feel like maybe I'm making a difference somewhere. But I do want to talk about Thanksgiving real quick. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the United States, and the idea of Thanksgiving actually kind of makes me sad a little bit. For many years now, I had preparations to make for Thanksgiving. And for the past 4 years, I haven't been able to. And I'm not saying that I'm waiting for one particular day in the year to be thankful. That's not what I'm saying. It's just that I miss having those traditions. I miss having everyone on the same page about a holiday where we all come together or visit each other's houses and eat and watch the game, and women end up in the kitchen gossiping or whatever. The men end up on the couch watching a football game, yelling at a TV screen. It's just, I miss that dynamic. I really do. I realize I could recreate that here if I really wanted to. I do have, a set of friends that I could call. I'm pretty sure if I really pushed, I could get my family members to come, to come together for this. But so far, no, I haven't put in the effort. And I don't know. I kind of want it, but I kind of feel like I'm out of my element here in Singapore. It's a little strange. Anyway, I do miss it. I miss getting together with family. I miss having 101 things to do on Thanksgiving Day. Start cooking early in the morning, only to end up with so much food that I don't have to cook again for a week because we'd be eating leftovers. God, I took pride in making desserts. I really enjoyed making desserts. So for the most part, I was very well known for my vanilla mousse cheesecake, and also for my chocolate pie, my chocolate chess pie. I don't know if you all remember Ukrops. Ukrops is a grocery store. I can't remember what the name changed to. It was, I don't know, maybe in the last 5 to 7 years they changed their name. But I know for a fact that anytime we were anywhere near Ukrops, the first thing we went to go look for is a chocolate chess pie. Now that pie is so rich and has a nice crust on the top of it, and I can't even explain. It's just, it's a gorgeous pie, and I actually was very good at making it. Now, since I've come to Singapore, I haven't quite been able to recreate it the way that I used to in the States, and I don't know if it's because the added humidity here in Singapore bothers it or not, but for some reason I just haven't been able to recreate it. So I'm working on that though. Just thinking about Thanksgiving, I remember when I was in college and I used to go over to my fiance's mom's house for Thanksgiving out in West Point, Virginia, and it would be really cool to be able to just, to eat all of that food. It's amazing. I used to volunteer to see if I could help cook or help cut vegetables or something, but Miss Lisa never actually let me in the kitchen, so it's all good though. We had our own tradition. When it came to Christmas, she would enlist my help to wrap all the presents because that was something she didn't quite enjoy, but I love it. I love wrapping presents, so I'd go a day or two beforehand and wrap all of her presents for her. That was kind of cool. So no, I didn't get to cook Thanksgiving with her, but fast forward, I don't know, 6-7 years later, when I was living with my would-be husband and then eventually married and everything, I went through a lot of trial and error with Thanksgiving. I remember the very first Thanksgiving that I tried to cook. Gosh, as embarrassing as it is, I got a frozen turkey and I did not thaw it. not as long as I should have anyway. And I remember putting it in the oven and bringing it back up because the house filled with smoke, only to find out that I'd burned the outside, but it was still frozen on the inside. So I definitely had to throw that one out. I was so upset because turkey's not cheap, you guys. A whole turkey. Anyway, I learned my lesson, and going forward, I made sure that I didn't do that. I've never actually done turkey with stuffing, as in stuff the turkey. I've never done that. I'm not comfortable with that. I just haven't done it. But because of the amount of food that we end up going to other people's houses and eating, I also learned that turkey legs, one for each of the members of our family, was more than enough meat for us to eat. So instead of buying a whole turkey, I would go get smoked turkey legs and recook those, and then all the other fixings I was good with. So, greens and sweet potatoes. What else? Cornbread, and I'm trying to think. I always did sweet potatoes, and my secret ingredient was pineapples with that and then after that I get the marshmallows on top. I love making cornbread from scratch because Aaron's mom, he used to brag, Aaron's mom used to make it more like cake than it was bread, so it wasn't quite as dry, and I learned how to make that. It was really great. And then my famous mac and cheese, it's Delilah's 7 cheese mac and cheese. Oh my god, it is a lot of cheese, but the way all the cheeses work together is just like, you cut it almost like cake. It's that heavy, and it holds together really well. And then if you were to put, the gravy and the mac and cheese and the turkey and the stuffing and everything together, it's magic. Cranberry sauce, obviously, mashed potatoes to go with my gravy, just all around. I really enjoyed it because it was something I taught myself to cook. I watched tons and tons of Cooking Network and Food Network and Cooking Channel and whatever else, like everything I could get my hands on, basically, just to figure out how to do all of these things, because I had basically inherited a family who did not eat Indian food, and I couldn't really make it every day for the rest of their lives. They're not ready for that stuff. It's the way we eat, but that's not how they eat. So I really had to learn from scratch, you guys, and actually I felt pretty damn good about it. That was something I'd finally accomplished. The morning after Thanksgiving, I usually make biscuits, and it usually comes with bacon and eggs, obviously, and then for lunch is normally sandwiches, where we'd use turkey meat and gravy to kind of hold the turkey meat together in the sandwich with some cornbread or stuffing, just depending on what they wanted, or even like just turkey meat with cranberry sauce in a sandwich was plenty. So it was always great because it's like something, a childhood memory I was able to recreate from my then husband. So it was kind of cool. I learned a lot. I remember how much effort it took to actually get to know my stepson's family, because outside of cooking at home, we always went to visit. And it was only right for us to go and visit his side of the family, because his mom's side of the family, like her 2 sisters, her parents, everybody was right in town near us. So we always went over there, and it was always awkward at first. The first couple of years, I remember thinking I was so out of place and so awkward, and I would cling to my stepdaughter just to kind of, for both of us to kind of feel like we belonged a little bit. And eventually, they warmed up to me and we got to know each other. And I remember when Marcy's son, Noah, was born, I clung to him because it's easy to take care of a baby when all the adults are talking about stuff that you have no idea about. So I would volunteer, and he and I bonded a lot during, Thanksgivings. And Ali would play with Megan and Justin, and it was nice. I finally found a way for me to belong, so it was just interesting and nice. But yeah, that sadness does hit me sometimes because I still wish I could do all those things. But I did make a very clear decision to leave, and I do hope that no one holds that against me. I did the best that I could for me and my child, and I don't regret the decision, but I do miss the little pieces of our life that made it feel like home, that made it feel like family. I always took pride in being that house where, my kids could bring their friends over and they could sleep over and they know their friends would be taken care of, because I felt safe knowing my kids were home with me with their friends instead of off somewhere else, staying the night somewhere else. It was something I took great pride in, and I'm thankful for all those memories. I'm thankful to have lived that life, to know, the difference between what I want and what I don't want. To know that if I ever had the chance to be married again, these are the kinds of things I'd want to create, to recreate, even if it's not family members. I mean, family comes in different forms. So even if it's like close friends, anything like that, I would love to create some traditions. I think it's important for kids to grow up with traditions. I think it's important for kids to see their parents, do certain things like, clean the house or cook dinners. I think it's important to have those childhood memories where you think back about what the house smelled like on a Saturday morning when you woke up, or the sounds of your mom cooking, because you know that, it's a good feeling to know she's home and you can bother her with homework questions or whatever it is, all of those things. I'm truly thankful for all those little moments that I had. I'll never forget, there were moments right after I had baby girl that she'd be in her high chair in my kitchen, and Aaliyah would be at the table doing her homework or reading, because I used to make her read out loud, and she would sit right by the high chair and read out loud so Athena could hear it as well. And I'd be cooking, or I'd be washing dishes. I don't know how many times I'd be washing dishes, and I'd turn around to see that baby girl had fallen asleep in her high chair. She loves the sound of running water. It was the only way I could calm her down after she got her shots. I remember having Aaliyah be in the kitchen with me, and she'd want to help me cook, so I'd help her, hoping that she'd pick up a couple of tips and maybe be able to cook a couple of things by herself sometimes. And I give her easy stuff. I remember Aaron coming downstairs, and he'd be like, "You know what, Pika, can I have some cookies?" I used to go to Sam's Club and get Pillsbury cookie dough in like a big bulk container, so I could like scoop it out whenever I wanted and make him cookies, fresh cookies every time. It saved a lot of time for me because I didn't have to get the kitchen dirty to make cookie dough from scratch. It was almost like cookies on demand for him, and he took great pride in showing off to his best friend Quentin whenever they were over at the house, and he'd be like, "Can we have cookies?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay, we can have cookies." I used to love Pillsbury dough biscuits because I could make so many things with the biscuits. I used to make monkey bread, and they used to be able to pull it apart. They had so much fun with that. And I used to make cinnamon rolls on a Saturday morning. I miss those days. I miss having a house full of people, and I'm super grateful to all of those memories because it proved to me that I can accomplish pretty much anything I put my mind to. There was a time where I could not cook for peanuts, and now I have people who ask me for my recipes, and I'm very proud to share them. I'm kind of stingy with recipes. I'm not gonna lie, because I kind of feel like I really fought to find the best ones, and I kind of don't want to give it away like you didn't fight the way I fought. But I'm learning to share. But those were some great memories. Those were some amazing times. And even amidst all of the, the confusion and the fighting, all those little things, I hold on to these few memories that I do have that were really great. I remember Saturday mornings, they'd wake up late after I gave them breakfast. They'd be like, "All right, can we watch Grimm?" And both kids would climb into the bed with me, and we would watch the past episodes of Grimm and catch up on what was going on. It's not always that you can get, a teenager and a elementary school kid in a room together to watch the same sitcom and then both of them be excited about it. So I was very grateful that both kids finally came together. When I met them, they were fighting like cats and dogs. One would pick on the other one would retaliate. They would both get yelled at, and it was a lot for me to get them to kind of come together and understand that there are no favorites in my house, and they would both be treated equally, and that they both had the same rules. It was a lot of work, and I'm super proud of them. They are so capable. They're so smart. Aaliyah is kicking ass at Phoenix, from what I understand. Aaron is doing really well with football and, university work. I'm grateful that he does reach out to me every now and again to help him, check his papers and stuff. So it makes me feel whole. It makes me feel useful when he does reach out and tell me that, he needs some help. Because obviously both his parents are there and he doesn't need to reach out to me. But I feel like he's keeping that connection open a little bit. He's keeping me in mind, and that means the world to me. Because honestly, step parents in the state of Virginia don't have any rights, and it's difficult because you do love them as if they were your own. That's my oldest, technically, and we went through a lot together. Anyway, just a couple memories from me about Thanksgiving. I know y'all are getting ready to eat till you can't move, and I just want to wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Be very careful with Black Friday. Take your time. Don't rush. Everyone's going to be in, holiday mode, and everyone's rushing for the last set of whatever it is that they're selling, and just be patient this holiday period. It started, right? The rush towards Christmas, so be patient. Take your time. Try not to be so careless with your words, because it's easy during times like this where people will poke you to bring out the worst in you. So just take your time, and remember that family is pretty much everything you would ever need, and they're not meant to be perfect. They're meant to be irritating and difficult at times, but when push comes to shove, family's supposed to be there when you need them most. So once again, I wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for letting me share with you the few memories that I do have. I'm hoping I can start it up again, and actually the plan is to start with the 25 days of Christmas this year, because I felt really badly that last year I didn't have any Christmas spirit. It was just very difficult for me. But this year I am determined. I'm not quite to the elf on a shelf level yet, and I don't know if I ever will be, but I'm going to start with the 25 days of Christmas starting December 1st. Just to get baby girl excited about Christmas. And yeah, so enjoy, eat well, rest well, and I do wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I love you guys. I'll catch you again tomorrow. Take care. Bye.